that shot. Walk on that journey now. Go till you shake that down. There is no backing down. You're gonna like how you feel. There is a mountain top that you are climbing up. You gotta take that shot. You're gonna like how you feel. Walk on that journey now. Go till you shake that down. There is no backing down. You're gonna like how you feel. You're gonna like how you feel. Like how you feel. Can you believe this is real? When you're up on top of the world, you're gonna like how you feel. You're gonna like how you feel. Like how you feel. Can you believe this is real? When you're up on top of the world, you're gonna like how you feel.
This is Justin Wharton out here with my co-host, Reese Bonifant. He got a little lost out in Spokane. We had to go hunt him down in the wilderness out there, but we found him back out here. We're at Albany, and this is the second longest running track in the PRO series. Reese, why do you think we keep coming back here?
I think we're super fortunate we still get to come to an awesome track like this. It's kind of an icon in Pacific Northwest motocross, man. Hills, Villapotos, everybody that's fast that came out of our neck of the woods used to train down here. I mean, I've heard so many stories, and I think it's cool. Put it up here with Washougal as far as Oregon tracks go. You know what I mean? And all the local pros still come here to practice every week religiously. So it's pretty killer.
Man, it's hard to argue that Albany is definitely a staple of Northwest motocross racing.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's just an iconic track, and you and me personally haven't spent a ton of time out here, but we've been coming a little bit more regularly, and I'm feeling the vibe. I kind of see why now. It's got a good family vibe, and the track is killer, and it's kind of a unique soil, and it's a fun layout. And the leeches do a good job at changing up even on just practice days. Like, it's never the same. It's always
Oh, for sure. So we've just cleared the halfway point here in the 2018 PRO Northwest Motocross Series, and there's not been a lot of riders that have really established themselves as the number one dominant force. We've had a lot of battles, a lot of back and forth, and that continued today. As you know, just for an example, 65 classes, we had Ryan Fabus was looking like he was going to be the dominant force. Second moto comes around, Ty Hollinsworth decides he wants to speed it up a little, and no one could touch him.
Oh, it was crazy, man. There were some killer battles, especially with the little bikes. The track got so much more rough for them on their second go of motos. I mean, we got bird's eye view of it, and it just deteriorated really fast. And the cheater lines that were being made by the little bikes and the vet riders were crazy, but everybody had to capitalize on it because the track changed significantly. I mean, there were just no lines left. It was so dry.
Yeah, there was a lot of line changes happening throughout the day, and the sand sections really threw a lot of people off, and that was a deciding factor in many motos. For example, Tommy Week, granted, he did get back up and win his moto, but he was out in the lead, went down, and had to remount and try to chase down Brad Nott again.
Oh, no, you guys are thankful for the electric starts being more and more popular on all their bikes, man. No, he did a good job coming back for a charge, and Tommy on a 250F on a track that's just a little bit smaller than his home track, which we all know what that is. He rode that thing like an animal today. It was crazy. It was some good rides in the pro classes.
And then we saw a rider who's been a dominant force so far in the series in the women's class, Kirsten Orkney. She got a little bit of a surprise this weekend as Rihanna Mueller came up and was giving her a run for her money in both motos of the women's class.
Oh, hands down. I was embarrassed watching them ride because there was no way I could hang with them. There's no way. They were animals. They were hitting all the pro lines, but you could tell both of them were riding right on the cusp of, not too much, but they both couldn't, there was no breathing room. They had to charge, and if one of them dropped off a little bit, the other person was waiting for it. It was good racing.
Yeah, Orkney got the win in both motos, but it was not by a long shot. I mean, she had to work every lap to hold off Mueller, as Mueller was right there on her, both motos, every single lap out there on that YZ125 two-stroke. So, Reese, what was one of the standouts that you saw out here for rounds 7 and 8?
Somebody that I'm a huge fan of now, and I've watched ride this whole series so far, was Warren Higgins, number 667 on his Husky, was running College Boy today, and I think he slid out in a couple intermediate classes as well. And that kid, he blew me out of the water because I got to watch him go out for a second round of motos, and it was when the track significantly changed one moto to another, and all the cheater lines started developing because the berms were so blown out, and it was so dry. And it didn't slow him down. Everybody else that was giving him a run for his money in his other motos were struggling. The sand sections were gnarly, and Higgins just rode smooth. And he got hole shots. He got a comfortable lead, and he's just been flying and progressively watching him get better throughout the series. So I'm excited to see him take the step up when he gets a couple more years and maybe slide into the pros and see what he can do.
Yeah, it felt like, to me, Warren was getting faster as the day went on. The rougher the track got, the faster he was going out there. And, you know, one of the deciding factors I felt like on the track was the sand. This is something new. You know, Albany's always had a few sand sections, but as you can see, they've brought in some more sand for today just to mix things up, and it was a lot of fun. However, of course, naturally, sand gets a lot of deep ruts in it, and it changes from moto to moto, and some riders did really well, some didn't. Nearly every single moto, there was some rider that tipped over in the sand corners, and it was really an interesting deciding factor that changed the outcome of a lot of the motos. I thought it was a lot of fun, and you know, you have to stay on your toes. You got to be able to transition from the normal clay dirt into those sand sections and not just throw it away. And everyone from the pros down to the beginners, there was somebody who just wasn't comfortable with it, and we saw a lot of leaders throw it away in some of the sand sections.
Oh, no, it was super fun riding them, but considering the tracks we've ridden up to this point in the series, that's not something we've had. And, I mean, think about it. Winter riding, practicing is one thing, but that's a whole new ball of wax. And, yeah, you're going from packed in, hard, almost Mountain View style dirt to all of a sudden a sand section that's like 3S corners leading up to a table that's rutted. I mean, it was interesting, but yeah, I definitely in practice learned a few things, and you had to go to the dunes there for a quick second.
Yes, but it was definitely a lot of fun. But that is going to be our recap for rounds 7 and 8 of the PRO Northwest MX Series presented by Thor. We're going to be coming back here to Albany June 23rd and 24th for rounds 9 and 10. So pretty easy to find us. We're coming right back here to Albany, and be sure to follow us to see more pictures and videos from these events. You can find us on Facebook, Pacific Racing Organization, and on YouTube and Instagram at Pacific Racing MX. And we will see you guys at the next rounds. So we've just cleared past the halfway series. Wow,
I'm good.
Okay.
I just wanted to get one in. I'm good.
I'm glad we added this.